Yo, welcome to the video. Thank you so much for clicking on it. Today, we are going to be talking about something that I wish I could say is like the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. But honestly, at this point, it doesn't even surprise me anymore. Truly, it really doesn't. So we are going to be talking about a series of Instagram posts or reels that were uploaded by goob_u2, who does a lot of like exposing fitness creators and just like fitness scams and just that kind of content. But he recently made a couple videos about a creator by the name of Karina Irby, which I think we've talked about before, way back in the day. But Karina does a lot of Instagram posts that are all about like reality versus Instagram and how people edit their photos and how they like will change what they look like. And she's always like talking about how you need to just be real and like people that do that are, you know, it's sad. It's so sad that people feel that way. But it seems that she has actually been doing the same thing on her photos. And this guy called her out and there has been a lot of backlash since then. And so without further ado, let's just get into it. So this was the first video that kind of kicked it all off. So we're going to go ahead and play it and I'll take you through this journey together. All right.
The biggest amount of hypocrisy I've ever come across in doing these stories. Welcome to the show, Karina Irby. So this is Karina Irby, 1.2 million followers. She owns the Moana Bikini Company. But she's really well known for making posts like this where she encourages girls to not edit their photos and not edit their cellulite out.
Which is a good thing, right?
Here's another one. And here's a post where she's actually poking fun at girls that Photoshop their photos. And in the caption she says, "No joke, people are still editing their photos like this." She says, "Be the change you want to see." I am the change I want to see. Let's get into it. So why am I saying she's a hypocrite? Well, Karina, it looks like you pulled your waist in on this one. If we draw this red line down from the slat, this should be farther over than it is here. And in this photo, I couldn't help but notice the metal in your shower is bending. I added some red lines, but you can see right here where it moves out and then moves back in up top because you edited your ass to be bigger.
Now, I know that there are probably going to be people watching this being like, oh my gosh, like it's not even that big of a deal. Why are you even upset about it? The issue is that this is someone that claims that they're like, you know, super body positive and that everyone should accept the way that they look. And this is important, make a lot of money making these claims and making people feel that way. And they themselves or their team or whoever you want to say is actually editing this are posting unrealistic photos on the internet to get more attention, right? And it's just important. When you see anybody online that has a large following and it's clear that they are making money off of that following, just be skeptical. I'm not saying everyone is evil and everyone is out to get you, but there are a lot of people that will be incredibly shady because there is a lot of money on the line. There's a lot of money on the line here. Let's be real, okay? And so you just have to be careful. And this is just like, it's comical, obviously, right? But it's real. Like this is actually happening. This isn't like, you know, happening in some like it feels like it's from a fake movie or something, but this is actually happening.
In this photo, I'm not sure what happened to this poor Land Rover, but that dimpling in the metal, definitely not up to code. Here's one in the shower. That shouldn't be bent. Remember this photo? Look in the corner. That doesn't look right. Maybe there's a reference photo. All right, here we go. Now let's zoom and compare. You cooked it. You cooked it. The corner's bent. This one's fucking hilarious. She warped this poor kid's head to make her waist smaller. Let me show you. Before the kid's head got caught in her Photoshop vortex. And then you can see she like egghead the poor kid over here.
And the thing that's the most sad about this is that a lot of times the captions will talk about how, oh, I'm being confident in my body and, you know, like you should do the same and you should just, you know, live your life, which again, those are all good messages to be putting out there. But then to not be living the thing that you are promoting so fervently is ridiculous, right? Like ridiculous.
Karina, I'm disappointed in you. You've built an entire brand on being real. But you aren't real. Your captions talk about how you understand how dangerous this is for body image, and then you do it anyway. Do better. This has to be the big...
So you might see that and think, okay, well, it's clear that she was caught in this, because a lot of these, she has talked about, which she brings up later, which, spoiler, there's more to the story, that, you know, she was caught in the past photoshopping, and she has talked about it, and she's been very open. But a lot of these posts, if you go through the comments, they're from like the day before or very, very recently, right? So it's not like it was years ago. Like these are pretty recent posts. So the update is this one right here. There's a statement here. I can't get the whole thing and I've tried to find it. I could not find it. And then the only website that I found was like they wouldn't let me use my ad blocker. And so I was just like, well, screw that website. But this is the statement right here. I'll read what I can. But it says, I have admitted to slightly editing myself in the past years ago. And I have been more than open about my journey when it comes to self-love acceptance on socials, which again, if that was true, that would be great, right? I think that's a good thing that would be happening, right? I have come a long way since then, as have many other creators and social media as a whole. I would argue that I am one of the most open, honest, and transparent creators on social media in 2023. Making that, like, it is crazy that someone would even make that statement because of just how many people are on social media. But the thought that someone would make that statement while, and you will see in the rest of this video, doing what they are doing is mind-blowing. It is pretty obvious when you look at my content, posts, reels, stories, that you're getting the authentic, unedited, and unfiltered version of me, which can rub some people the wrong way. It's for this reason that I have more of my time, that I spend more of my time, I think that's what it says, focus more of my time on TikTok videos as is a more authentic and transparent place. Being in the public eye with years and years, and then some of it's cut off. So we'll just get into this video, but you guys see, basically, the statement is, I didn't do anything wrong. I that was in the past, and I've learned from it. That was basically what she's saying there.
To gaslight the general public instead of apologizing and owning up to what you said. I'm not done. See, Karina, you've challenged my credibility here. You've called me a liar. You said I'm trying to tear you down and creating hate.
Yeah, so it says right here, obviously the nature of this person's post, talking about him, isn't to have an open and honest dialogue, and they are just here to create hate towards me, bully, and tear me down. Sorry, it's kind of hard to read because it's kind of small. But so again, doubling down, saying I'm not doing anything wrong. This person is just being mean and is a bully.
You said, I don't know anything about this, that you don't edit your photos anymore. And you said this is manufactured drama. You know, Karina, for manufactured drama, I noticed something really funny about the thumbnails that you, to this current day, use on your reels. Let's take this one, for example. If we zoom in on the thumbnail, you look like this in it. And I cannot even make this up.
Dude.
But when we freeze frame...
That is mind-blowing that you would leave this up and make that, like, I don't get it. And again, social media influencers will do anything to get the bag. They will do anything to make themselves look holier than someone else. So much of her content is based around the fact that she doesn't do these things that other people do, and how sad is it that other people feel that they need to do this. You don't but she's still doing it, bro. Like,
from the video and overlay it on the thumbnail, this is what you actually look like. Why edit the thumbnail if you're the most transparent influencer of 2023? Your own words. And here we got another one. Is this what transparency and honesty means to you? Sucking your waist in, and then when you get called out online, you gaslight
It's like, again, she looks great. It's so insignificant. Why even do it? Like, it doesn't even make sense. It's not even like you're making some huge change. It's like a pretty small change that is so unnecessary. Why would, it feels like there must be some sort of addiction or something going on, because that is crazy to change the thumbnail but then keep the video the same. Why even change the thumbnail? Is it because you know that if you edit the thumbnail and you look quote unquote better in the thumbnail that you'll get more hits? Is that what's going through your mind as to why it's okay? It's like, well, people want to see this, and so I'm going to trick them with the thumbnail and then be my real self. That's not an excuse. That's shitty, okay? That's what that is. That's not an excuse to do what you're doing.
Everybody and double down. Guys, I'm not even kidding. You can literally do this with probably every thumbnail from every single one of her reels. Now, Karina, there's nothing wrong with your body the way it is, but there is something wrong with lying, manipulating, and gaslighting people when they call you out for what you're doing, which is being a fraudulent piece.
True.
How dare you turn this into anything other than what it is? You're a liar. You got called out. It made you uncomfortable, and you owe the world an apology.
And then the final piece so far that I've been able to find is he was sent a cease and desist. So John Dorsey, I think is his name. Yeah, John Dorsey. And this is the caption from this post. It says, imagine sending a cease and desist to a journalist who is literally just exposing the truth. You all are very nervous about this ex-employee thing for some reason, but not too concerned with her entire platform being be real, don't edit, despite her editing everything. Yikes. Not a good look, but you're a match made in heaven for the delusion. And so this, forgive my reading, says John Dorsey, blah, 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 right. My client is Karina Irby. 1, I act for Miss Karina Irby. 2, this letter contains important information, and I strongly suggest you refrain from publicly circulating it, which he did. I also suggest you obtain independent legal advice about the matters herein. In the last 24 hours, you have published 4 videos purporting to expose my client on your Instagram account, which has, at the time of writing has 125,000 followers. Your videos have been incredibly damaging. I will write you further about my concerns with your previous videos shortly. Future publications. In the interim, what is most concerning is that you have indicated in your videos that you intend to further expose my client by publishing content allegedly from previous employees who have worked with my client. My client is not concerned about what the previous employees have to say about her. My client is a small business owner who has had employees come and go. Any small business owner can attest that difficulties faced when handling employment matters and that mistakes can be made. Ooh, this is kind of sounding a little spicy, man. Especially in the early days. It sounds like there's a story there for sure. My client works hard to make her business a safe and fun, inclusive space for all her employees. Yeah, I'm sure. This has not been without lessons learned through experiences, and unfortunately, ex-employees may not see things the same way. It is likely then not that people talk poorly of their previous employers than positively. If my client previous employees feel aggravated, my client encourages them to reach out to my firm. And so there definitely seems like there is something more going on behind the scenes. So I'm kind of curious to see what John ends up unearthing there. So like I said, at the end of the day, what's really sad about this is that this is someone that claims to be something that they're not, which sadly, like I said at the beginning of the video, is not that crazy. Especially on social media. But then when you add that there's money to be made and that these posts are basically, you know, a lot of the times it's like about promoting the business and stuff like that. It really isn't that surprising, but it is disappointing. And I really do hope eventually she comes clean and she at least reflects on this and like understands, because I don't think it's the end of the world. I don't think she's a terrible person. I don't think that like this will be the end of her, but I really, really think that coming clean and just taking some time to reflect is necessary. Because if you don't do that and you don't learn from this, like I would say that is very telling of the type of person that you are. And so I don't know. I would love to know what you guys think down in the comments section down below. I will link Goob's Instagram in the description if you want to check that out, because you'll probably be able to catch some of the stuff before if I end up making another video. I don't know. There's probably going to be updates though. And so if you do want another video on it, let me know. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.